So welcome everybody to our webinar today that is going to be talking about the application process for joining the University of Staffordshire for our January 2026 intake. So my name is Ellie and I'm the International Officer here at the university. And you may have seen me in Campus Connect, which we'll cover later on. But you can also contact the wider team that I'm part of via our email, which is on the screen there, which is internationalrecruitment@staffs.ac.uk. We are here to support you throughout your application journey, so please do use us for that support. So today we are going to go over I've got a quick video to show you about the university to give you a little bit of an overview. We're going to talk about how you get your offer. So everybody here today will already have a conditional offer, but how do we turn that into an unconditional offer if you haven't got one already? We'll then move down the application journey in terms of paying your deposit, deadlines that you need to be aware of in regards to paying your deposit, the compliance checks that you need if you are applying for a student visa, and then also a very quick overview of what the arrival process will be. Now, some of the things that we're covering today, we're just going to cover in very minimal detail because we will have future webinars before your arrival for January, which covers those in more detail. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to pop them in the chat as we go along, or you can ask them at the end of the session. So to start off with, as I say, I'm going to play a short video. Hopefully you will be able to hear this, but it gives you a nice little overview of the university and also gets you a chance to be able to see some of our facilities.
To know where you're going, to find and unlock your potential, you need to know where to start. Right from the beginning, we've been at the cutting edge of industries, of driving change, of shaping what comes next. And we're doing it all again. 100 years in the making. Future-facing, we're building somewhere different. Teaching in the best way, not the way it's always been. Built around the changing needs of the way we live, learn, and work. Built around the changing needs of life. Built around you. Exciting, hands-on, immersive. Here you'll experience a new way to learn. Personalized, uplifting, empowering. Here we see what's possible in you. Real world, practical, industry defining. Here we're pushing further to bring your future closer. With you for every step, not just the first step. We're taking things up a level with a new name, new facilities, new opportunities. Breaking free and opening up. Connecting across different thinking, skills and places. Coming together as one uplifting community where you can be you. Surrounded by amazing people, where amazing things happen. Here is the place of possibility. Here is your place.
So we really do hope that you will be able to join us and be able to be on one of our campuses, whether that is Stoke-on-Trent or London, for our January intake, which there was a mix of the campuses there within that video. So in order for you to be able to join us, obviously we have a process that we need to be able to get you through. So we do have a step-by-step process that you need to go through. So the first thing that will have happened is that you will have submitted your application. Again, as I say, you all here today are already offer holders, so you've already done that. Once you have submitted your application, that is then reviewed by our international admissions team. So they will be taking note of all of the different entry requirements that you need and moving forward from that. After that, they will make a decision whether they will give you a conditional or an unconditional offer. So there may be a mix of you guys here today, some of which have conditional offers. So there's further information that we need from you, and I'll go into that in more detail shortly. Others may be unconditional offer holders. So you're slightly further down the process. For those of you, once you have an unconditional offer, your next step is to pay your deposit. Again, I'll come on to that in more detail later on. Once you've paid your deposit, you then begin the compliance aspects of the application process. The compliance process is broken down into 3 steps, and it's all conducted via our partner Enrolli. So on there, this is where you will complete a pre-CAS interview, a finance check, and finally also upload your documents to be able to get ready for your CAS to be issued. Once you have your CAS issued, you are then able to submit an application with the UKVI for a student visa. And then once your student visa is successfully approved, you will then be able to begin the arrival aspects in terms of your enrolment and things like that. So, as you will be aware, we have a wide range of subject areas, and today, from those that we've said hello to beforehand, we have a number of computer science and engineering students, but we have a wide range of other courses available too. So this is obviously the first thing that you've done, is you've chosen the subject area that you wish to apply to. Now, each subject has its own individual entry requirements. The entry requirements we also have can be specific to your own country. So these can be viewed on our international country pages, so you can see exactly what it is that we're looking for that course. In addition to that, if you have specific entry requirements that are non-academic, they will be popped in your offer letter. So it's really important to have a look at your offer letter really clearly, particularly if you are first issued a conditional offer letter. In addition to the academic qualifications that you have to provide, so this might be your school completion certificate, it could be a bachelor's degree certificate, it could be a diploma that you've completed with a separate award body. Those are some of the things that we would accept from an academic point of view. In addition to this, you have to provide an English language proficiency test. So we accept a wide range of English language tests, but our standard one is IELTS. So we would need IELTS of 6 with no lower than 5.5 in each component. Now, there are some courses where you have to do specific English language tests. The majority of them, particularly the ones that those of you who have introduced yourselves today, you can choose any of our generic ones. So I've popped some of those generic ones on the slide there. But if English language is one of your outstanding conditions, you will be sent a link on your offer letter, which takes you to our webpage where you can see the other tests that we are also accepting. We only accept what is listed on the web page. So if you have anything else, it will not be accepted. So please bear that in mind, that you do need to provide one of those English language tests. So in addition to your academic qualifications and your English language, there are some additional things that you also need to provide. And in some circumstances, other people, depending on what their journey is, have to provide additional things as well. So everybody will also need to provide a personal statement. So there's very strict guidelines in regards to what we need to have in your personal statement. So sometimes, even if you've written a personal statement that you submitted at your initial application, we may ask you to update it. Again, we will provide you a link which gives you guidance for what we're looking for. But essentially, in your personal statement, we need you to be able to tell us why you wish to study the particular course that you've applied for, why you wish to study it in the UK specifically, and why you want to study it at the University of Staffordshire. We really want to see that you've done the research in that, and then how all of those things meet and go towards your career goals and aspirations that you have. In addition to this, you will all need to provide your passport, and also if you've had any previous visa refusals. So please make sure you provide those as soon as possible. Now, some courses, and depending, as I say, on your application journey, you will also need to provide an academic or an employer reference, and also your CV. This is particularly important for anybody that has a study gap. So if you are applying for a master's degree and you have a study gap, you need to make sure you are providing your up-to-date CV, which clearly covers everything that you've been doing and covers all of the educational and work-based work you have completed. You also need to provide employer references to cover that full study gap period. And in your personal statement, in addition to what I've already said that you need to say in that, you also need to explain why you now wish to return to education. So this part is a compliance aspect for the entry requirements. So again, you may not have provided these when you first applied, and it may be part of your conditional offer, but hopefully that gives you a little bit further context of what those conditions may be. So as I say, you will receive your offer letter, and you all have, which is great. On your offer letter, it will confirm your fees, it will confirm your course duration, the intake you're starting in, your scholarships that you have been awarded, and anything else that you maybe need to provide if you are a conditional offer holder. It's really important that you review this offer letter clearly so you know what's coming next. So in terms of the tuition fees, all of our tuition fees that you should be receiving offers for are for £16,750. And as I say, this will be stated on your offer letter, and it's stated on both conditional and unconditional offer letters. But the majority of you guys will also see on your offer letters that you will have been awarded a SMART scholarship. So our SMART scholarship is £3,000, and this is automatically awarded. So you don't need to do anything further than this. And again, if you've applied for a course and we've given you an offer, we will have assessed if you are eligible for this scholarship, and it will state that in your offer letter. But there's nothing further that you need to do for that scholarship. That fee will be taken from your tuition fees. So we've gone through the academic requirements that you need. You've now got your unconditional offer, which is fantastic. The next stage for you is to pay your deposit, and that confirms that you are coming to us. So at any point, whether you are issued a conditional or an unconditional offer, you can go into your Beacon or your eVision and accept that offer firmly. However, that offer is not completely accepted, and you will not move down the application process until we have your deposit. So your deposit is £4,000, which must be paid by either Convera or Flywire. Now, the links to these again are provided in your unconditional offer letter, and your unconditional offer letter will also detail the next steps that you have to follow. So you are welcome to pay your deposit in smaller chunks if you wish. However, you will not move on to the next step until we have that full £4,000. The reason we ask you to pay via either Convera or Flywire is because the payment options are varied, and you can pay from anywhere across the world. There is also the option for you to track exactly where your deposit is, so you will know when the university has actually received that money. In regards to the payments of your remaining tuition fees, as everybody here will be joining in January, your remaining fees will be due by the 30th of June 2026. Now, again, you are welcome to make payments towards your tuition fees in smaller chunks should you wish to, but the full fee for that first year or that course, if you're here for a 1-year master's, has to be paid by the 30th of June. Now, following your deposit payment, so we will double check that you have an unconditional offer and you have paid your deposit. Once we've confirmed both of those, you will then begin the compliance checks. So please don't pay your deposit if you only have a conditional offer. Please only pay once you have an unconditional offer confirmed. Once you have that unconditional offer and we've received that deposit, you will then receive a link, a secure link from our compliance partner, Enrolli. So Enrolli is a separate platform that works closely with the university, which is where we track and manage our compliance processes. So within Enrolli, there are a number of things that you need to complete. It's really nice to be able to, for you to be able to track what you're doing. On the left-hand side of the screen of the Enrolli portal, you will see a number of tasks that you have to complete. As you complete those, you'll get a nice little green tick to say that you've done that. So the first thing that you will need to do is upload documents. Now, some of these are documents that you will have already provided to us in your application, but you have to upload them again to Enrolli as part of the CAS process. So this will be things such as your passport and other academic qualifications. So you will be able to have to upload those. Again, Enrolli tells you very specifically what it is that you need to do and what you need to upload. So make sure you follow those each through. You will then also have to do a pre-CAS questionnaire. So this asks you a number of questions about your position in terms of applying for a student visa and things along those lines. Again, it's one of the steps that Enrolli will tell you to do. One of the really important parts of the Enrolli process is the pre-CAS interview. Now, I'm not going to go into details over the pre-CAS interview and the visa finance check today, because we will be doing a webinar later on where we will cover this in more detail. But just to let you know that the pre-CAS interview is conducted on Enrolli, and you have one chance to complete and submit this pre-CAS interview. Now, you can do it multiple times if you wish, but make sure you don't submit it. Once you've submitted, that is it complete, okay? So as you'll see on the slide there, it mentions that the pre-CAS interview is asynchronous. So you will actually be completing the interview directly to camera via the Enrolli platform. What then happens after you've submitted that pre-CAS interview, it is then assessed by our admissions and compliance team. They then will make a decision on whether or not that's been passed. Also, you will have to submit your financial documents for the visa finance check. So here you have to upload your documents to prove that you have the UKVI's required minimum maintenance amount. So this will be the 9 months worth of living maintenance, your remaining tuition fee, plus an additional 10% to account for currency fluctuations. You need to make sure that this is held for 28 days if you're using a bank statement. So it's really important, I'll come on to our deadlines in a moment, that you make sure that you hold that for the 28 days before our deadline. If you miss the deadline, you will not be able to join us in January. So please bear that in mind when you're getting your finances arranged to be able to pass the visa finance check, which again is completed within Enrolli. Now, once you have passed your pre-CAS interview and passed your visa finance check and uploaded all of the other documents that enrollee is telling you to, at that point, again, our international admissions and compliance team will review all of that information. Once that's reviewed, at that point, they will then issue your CAS, and that will be sent directly to you via email. And again, more details on how that is processed will be gone over in a later webinar, but that's the next thing that will happen once you've paid for your deposit. So deadlines that you need to be aware of. Everybody's already applied, as we've said. If you have yet to get an unconditional offer, the latest you can get an unconditional offer is the 28th of November. So please make sure you are working towards those conditions if you've not already. The latest date we will accept that deposit of £4,000 is the 3rd of December. So please, again, bear that in mind. And the latest date of CAS issuance is the 12th of December. So what that means is all of those steps that I've mentioned that you complete on enrollee have to be done before the 12th. So again, factor in when you need to start that 28-day hold for the maintenance for your visa finance check. If you're not going to be able to meet those 28 days before, let's say, give yourself a little bit more time, say the 6th of December, you will not be joining us in January, sorry. So please make sure you are well prepared from the finances for that 28-day hold, and bearing in mind our deadlines that we have there. And then the exciting part is that all of your courses will start on the 26th of January. All these dates are also found on our webpage, so you can find those under the international how to apply page as well, if you want to refer back to these after today. So that's the application process. To help you through the process as well, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm part of the international recruitment team and we're here to support you throughout the process. In addition to that, we have our Campus Connect community. So that's where obviously this was hosted through today. So please make sure you are engaging with Campus Connect. It's a great way to be able to meet other offer holders from both the UK and also other international students. You'll see a number of different communities on there that relate to your subject areas, maybe also hobbies that you have. And you can also ask questions on there. The main people on there, other than other offer holders, are our student ambassadors. So our student ambassadors are current students that are studying with us, and they are the people that you can get great information from. So please make sure you do ask those guys questions. And we also, as an international team, are on the chat, the international student chat as well, and you can also DM us should you need to. But the best way to contact us would also always be via email. But as I say, you've got our student ambassadors in there and one another that you can help meet. You'll also find on there other events that are being hosted by different teams. So today we're obviously doing this one for the application process, and it's specifically for international students. But there are also other chat-based and live webinars that are also hosted on Campus Connect, which you can get involved with. So keep an eye on that events tab on the app. So I mentioned I'd also go over sort of the areas that will happen for once you arrive and the support that you can receive. So as a university, we have wraparound support for you in a number of areas. So our international student support team will be your first port of call once you arrive, and they are also where as student visa holders, they will track your compliance to that student visa as well. So in addition to this, when you arrive, everybody will be invited to do an English language assessment. This is done as part of our English language team, and they will ensure that you have the correct support to excel in your degree. So this is not to grade you in your English. You've already done that as part of the application process. This is purely for you to be able to see if you need any additional support writing at an academic level that is higher than you studied before. In addition to that, there's loads of extra support that you can get. So for example, our careers support. So those of you who are doing master's degrees, you'll see that the course is 17, 18 months long. Now, that's not all being taught in that time. There is the opportunity for you, if you wish, to do a short-term placement potentially over the summer. So you could use our careers and employability team to be able to support you with that. With our health and wellbeing team, you can get support from settling into the UK, getting registered with the doctors, all those sorts of things. So there really is full wraparound care for you. As I said, the first port of call for you will be our student support team, who help monitor that visa compliance aspect. Now, once you do arrive, before you arrive, you will be invited to do online enrolment. Again, what I'm going through here briefly will be covered in more detail later on in a later webinar, but you'll have to complete online enrolment. Then there also will be some modules that you have to complete on our international portal. And then once you arrive in the UK, you will have to do your the English language assessment that I mentioned, and also your face-to-face enrolment. So that's the full process from start to finish. As you're waiting for your student visa application update, we would also ask to make sure that you keep in touch with us with any updates for that, and when you're planning on arriving and things along those lines. But again, we'll go over that in more detail in a later webinar. These are just a few of the careers and employability partners that we have. So some of those short-term placements that you may wish to work with, or for example, Alton Towers, you may want to work there part-time. There's lots of opportunities for part-time work, obviously taking into account your responsibilities as a student visa holder, which you may be able to get involved in. Again, we will cover this in more detail in a separate webinar, but for those of you studying at our Stoke-on-Trent campus, we do have accommodation available for you on campus, and we would advise that you start looking at accommodation as soon as possible. You certainly want to make sure you have accommodation sorted before your arrival to the UK. For anybody that's not wanting to live on campus, we have our Students' Union who offer our green pad estate agents, which again can support you with finding private accommodation. And then also for those studying in London, we have some partnerships with private accommodation, which you can ask for support to look for there. Our Students' Union are also a great team of people who are here to help you settle in and here to make you feel part of the Staffordshire University community. So Precious in the middle there, she's a Nigerian international student herself, and it's her second year being in office and representing students. But the Students' Union is a great way for you to get involved in clubs and societies and other communities, and to try out new things. So and also again, part-time work is something that they can work with there. So I've covered an awful lot of information there today. In terms of the application process. If anybody has any questions or any point needs any further support from us, our email is on screen there. Also keep in touch with us on social media. So our social media Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We have our student content creators who are all current students, who are all posting on there regularly, so you can see a day in the life of a University of Staffordshire student. You can see other things that are going on, so it's a great way to be able to see what's going on at the university as well. And the other thing that I want to just make you or remind you is that should any of your contact details change at any point, please make sure you let us know. We need to be able to get in touch with you about your offer, about your compliance and CAS process. So please make sure if you have any changes in contact details, you do get in touch with us. Okay, so we've covered an awful lot there. I can see that there has been some questions in the chat, and also we have some hands up, which is great. So I will just start with the questions in the chat, so bear with me. So the first one, I received a conditional offer letter, offer email, but the conditional offer letter was not attached to it. Okay, so the email itself is the offer letter. So there isn't anything attached to your offer letter. So once you receive that email, that is your offer letter there. So you'll see at the beginning of that email, it will confirm your details. It will tell you the fees that I've mentioned, the intake and the course. Below that, it will tell you if you've been awarded your scholarship, then any conditional offers that you conditions that you need to meet, and then any further details. So there isn't actually a separate letter. It is the email in itself. If you need your offer letter resending or anything like that, get in touch with us and we can get that sorted. Okay, so in terms of this next question relates to conditions being provided but an unconditional offer letter not being sent yet. So you should be able to upload your conditional documents directly to your application yourself via eVision. If you have any issues with that, or if there are any delays in once you have submitted that, again, please email us on internationalrecruitment@staffs.ac.uk. That's the best place to email us, and we can then follow that up for you and go from there. Also, if anybody is working with an agent supporting them through the application journey, you can also use your agent to prompt us and to get in touch as well. Remember, they're there to support you throughout this process. Again, if there's any issues in your offer letters, such as this question relates to the incorrect campus, send an email to International Recruitment and we'll be able to get that sorted for you. And as a reminder, you will only pay your deposit once you are an unconditional offer holder. So, next question. So yes, our deposit is £4,000. So this is a recent update. So some of your offer letters may still state our previous deposit of £6,500. Now, if your offer letter states that, you are still only required to pay £4,000. So for everybody joining in January 2026, your deposit is £4,000. Now we can issue new offer letters, but also if you have an unconditional offer and then pay the deposit of £4,000, that will help you move on to the next check for those compliance checks. So £4,000 is your deposit. So that is what you need to pay to be able to move on. And as I say, if you are a conditional offer holder and you pay a deposit, nothing will happen in terms of the next step until you meet those conditions. So that's really important that you take note of that there. Another question. So it mentions that someone's asked what the fees for the 1 year of the course are. So that will be stated in your offer letter. So it will be at the top, but the majority of our courses are £16,750. But again, please double check that on your offer letter because it will state that on your offer letter. Okay, so we'll go to live questions. So let's see. And as I say, please remember no personal questions. I can't answer any personal ones in regards to your own circumstances because this is a public platform. So apologies again if I say your name incorrectly, but Rehan, if you would like to put your microphone on, you're welcome to ask your question.
Thank you. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Ma'am, I had also wrote my question as I have received my conditional offer letter, but I am unable to receive a unconditional offer letter. I have completed my all the requirements and uploaded my IELTS, and also I had uploaded my bachelor certificate, but no response from the team. I kept emailing them from 12 days, but didn't receive
Okay.
my unconditional offer letter.
Okay, so please send a follow-up email to international recruitment at staff as what's on the screen here, and I will follow that up for you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
No worries. Joshua, what's your question, please?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, with what you said earlier, since you said there's you won't be able to answer any personal questions, so I'll send an email to
Perfect. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, please send an email and we'll be happy to help. Okay.
I will do that. Thank you.
No worries. Azan, your question.
Hi, Elli, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How can I help?
Actually, I wanted to ask that I got the conditional offer letter, and I saw the tuition fees was, I guess, £9,535, right? And there was also written the smart scholarship. So we get like £3,000 off of it, right? I don't understand. Do I get £3,000 off of the £9,535, or it's already deducted?
Okay, so are you an MA social work applicant?
No, I'm here for my bachelor's.
Okay, and you're an international student.
Right.
Okay, I would suggest that your fees are incorrect because our courses aren't 9,500 for our international students. So if you don't mind, please send an email and I will double check those fees for you. So what typically it is, so what course have you applied for?
I've applied for BSc in Business Management, Business Administration.
The undergraduate 3-year course or the top
Right.
up?
Right.
Which one, sorry, the 3-year course or the top up course?
No, it's a 3-year course.
The 3-year course. Okay. So the fees for our standard 3-year Bachelor in Computer Science or Bachelor's in Business Management are £16,750 per year. Now, for our undergraduate courses, you will be awarded a SMART scholarship of £3,000. So that will make your fees £13,750 each year for those 3 years. Of your first year tuition payment, you need to make the deposit of £4,000. So that's how it works there. So I think there's been an error on your offer letter in regards to the fees because it should be 16,750. But again, please drop me an email with your student number and I can have a look, double check that for you. Okay.
Do I have to email on the international, whatever the email is?
Yes, so the email that's on the screen, so internationalrecruitment@staffs.ac.uk. If you
Right.
email there, again with your student number, then I can get that followed up for you. Okay.
Sure. Sure, I will. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry for any confusion there. Right, I'm
No,
just
it's
going to
all
have
right.
a look at the chat. Okay, so there's a question here that says the conditions weren't stated in the offer. Okay, so if you have any issues with with any offer letters, please again send an email to International Recruitment with your student number, and I will look into it for you. I need to see what happens there. We won't be able to send you a PDF of that letter. You would need to be able to save that email as a PDF yourself. We can't send separate PDFs for that. So we would be able to send that email, and then you can save that as a PDF if you need that for whatever reason. But if there are any issues that you're not seeing something on your conditional or unconditional offer letter and you want to get it checked, then you're welcome to send that to us. So again, just to confirm, the deposit is £4,000 that you need to pay, and that is what begins the compliance checks procedures. So you have to pay the full 4,000 before you can proceed. So let's go back. Joshua, do you have another question, or is your hand just still up from previously?
I do not have any other question. I'm going
Okay,
to
all right.
drop that.
No worries, that's absolutely fine. I'll just pop your hand down. Again, apologies if I say your name incorrectly here. Chibuki?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so I received a conditional offer email, but there wasn't a condition attached to it. It wasn't detailed at all.
Okay, so as I just said then, if you have any questions about your offer letter not containing information, please drop us an email and I'll follow that up for you. Please make sure you put your student number in there so I can find your application. Okay.
All right, I've sent the email.
Perfect. Mohammed Usman, what's your question, please?
Hi, Elli. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so Elli, I just had my unconditional offer. I just done with every phase of precast, and I was just done with my precast interview as well early morning today. But I was not satisfied with some of the questions because the time was up and I was still answering them. So now, while this session, you were saying that we will get only one chance. So I was not aware of this, that we have only one chance of precast interview. So will I get any other chance if by chance I don't basically make that?
No, so if you have submitted that precast interview, then there's no other chance for you to be able to go forward. If you haven't pressed submit, then you can do it again.
But I was not aware of that, that I can cancel that.
Okay.
I was not
Unfortunately, you can't repeat it. It is a one submission only part of the process. But as I say, the team will review that interview and make a decision from that point forward. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
yeah, that's fine
keep
then.
working through the rest of the details on your enrollee portal. And then, as I say, the team will review those. They'll review your interview. So maybe it is that they will review it and they will put that together with your precast interview questionnaire to be able to answer the questions. But unfortunately, if you haven't answered the questions, you won't be able to proceed. But that, as I said, it will be reviewed by by a person, so it's not confirmed until that review has been completed. So I can't say, for example, just by you submitting that interview, you haven't automatically failed. It will be checked by a human, by one of our team in the admissions team, and they will be the ones that make that final decision of pass or fail. Okay.
Okay. I have attempted all of the questions, but one I just was out of time. I was just answering that, so I was just not satisfied with that specific answer. So
Okay.
I thought. So let's hope
No
for the
worries.
best. Thank you.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed it will be fine. But also you can obviously take this as a learning opportunity for when you come to, it's obviously subject to us issuing you a CAS, you can take it as a learning opportunity for how you go into your interview with the UKVI for that visa interview as well. But yeah, as I say, it will be reviewed, so it's not automatically passed or failed. So give that some time for that to be reviewed and then go from there. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for your time, and thank you for your questions as well. As I've said, if you have any questions or you're stuck at any point, get in touch with us via email and we will be there to support you. The best place is to definitely always email us at internationalrecruitment@staffs.ac.uk, as is mentioned on the screen in front of you. So thank you again for your time. This will be uploaded in a week or so's time to our YouTube. So if you do want to watch it back, you can do. But thank you again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are in the world. So thank you and goodbye.